Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday. Um, Nobody wants to hear me but talk about the Packers. Whoever said
What
that a
happened with the
win,
Packers? They won, didn't they?
yeah, they won, but whoever said a win is a win didn't look towards the next week or didn't look towards the playoffs because it took us overtime to win by a field goal. And we were playing against, was it the Patriots? Against their third string
Patriots.
quarterback. Yeah, their third string quarterback. So we should have never been in that position. So yeah, I was watching the plays that got them back to even or back to 24-24. And they ran it 6 times. And the passing play that they did, they gave him all day in that pocket. He could have sat down and figured it out. And I made a post on Facebook saying, all prevent defense does is prevents you from winning because we gave them that touchdown. We were so soft and but basically, long story short, is for a third string quarterback, they should have never been that close. So no, yeah, it was the Patriots. I was thinking of Tom Brady the week before, who throws Microsoft tablets. Um, so, um, so yeah, I I traded today. I traded the SPY. I'll show you my chart because I'm starting to pick up that you cannot force trades. And I'll show you what I'm talking about because I might have even posted it. That didn't work. So I started it around 9:30. Let's see if I can do this. 9, which is 10:30 Eastern. Okay. And I kept dragging this box out. So I think I got in here. The 5-minute app triggered right here. And I watched it for a red candle. And that's something I think people need to understand is as soon as the app triggers, you can jump in, but this first half hour of trading, it may reverse on you. So I got in here. I think I got out in here, and then I watched it. And like I said, I kept drawing this box first to 10. And I think I got all the way up till 12:30. Well, let's try 1, 13. And I kept waiting for a breakout. I saw the box. I saw this, got in short, got stopped out. I saw this, got in long, I think here, got stopped out. So we kind of, and this is till 12 o'clock is 1 o'clock Eastern. So during this time, everybody's out to lunch. I think,
Let me help you out, Brian. Take that first 5-minute candle and put your line there.
which is this blue line.
So what it is that the time to buy a stock that gives you a window is when it comes back to the 5-minute high. You buy it there, and then you set your limit underneath it, which is your stop loss. When you go ahead and buy a stock that's way up there, the thing is that it's range bound. It's not going anywhere.
Right.
It only goes in and goes somewhere. So the thing is that this is called patience. So what it is when you buy a stack, the best time to buy a stack when it reapproaches the 5-minute. So you got two places to buy a stack. One, when it goes ahead and as soon as it breaks the 5-minute high and the app gives you a signal to buy. And then what it is that you hold on to it till it goes ahead and either goes ahead and makes a new high, but you should have been out. You see how you had like a triple top? You should have sold it then and made a nice profit. So you held it way too long.
Well,
so
let me see.
What I would have done, Well, no, go to 10 o'clock. Let me just show
So,
you something. I'm trying to teach you something.
okay, but here's the
Go to
thing.
10. Go back to your graph.
I
I don't
bought
care
it
what
at
that shows.
8:55 and 9:02. Actually, I was in and out quickly. So
Okay, but
8:50,
why you should have bought it at 8:40
8:40.
at the most. Yeah, I mean, if anything, it would have been 8:35 or 8:40. So you'd have bought it there. But what I'm showing you is go to 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock's always your reversal. Put a line at 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock Eastern.
No, yeah, 10 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock your time.
Okay.
Put the line at 10 o'clock.
So
And just
here is 10 o'clock Eastern,
where?
right at this dotted line.
You sure? Because that would be 9:30, 9:35, 9:40, 9:45, 9:50. So what it is that you would put a second double line at 10 o'clock. You follow me? I'm just trying to show you a technique.
You mean a line where it crossed here?
No, at the 10 o'clock 5-minute high and low.
10, 11. Okay. So,
Or call it 11.
yeah.
Remember, you're always going to have a reversal. So you had the choice to either sell at 10 o'clock, which is what you should have done, or you would have put a line at the top and bottom at 10 o'clock. And then if it broke that line, you got out of the trade. So the thing is that the reason you do that, because a lot of times the market will go ahead and accelerate, and that you'll go ahead and it'll run till 11 o'clock and then have a reversal. But that's only on a strong market. But do you see what I'm saying? If you would have set a line at 10 o'clock or just got out at 10 o'clock, everybody thinks this is going to go on forever, but it doesn't go forever. You always are going to have a reversal at 10 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock Central. That's the way it is. And you see that you had that reversal?
Oh,
Because what it
wait.
is that if you would have followed it, you would have went ahead and lost all you wouldn't even made any money.
11 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah.
That's this one.
Well, if those are 5-minute bars, it's got to be much higher than that. It's going to be your top.
And let's get rid of this because this is noon.
Yeah.
Uh,
Are those 5-minute bars?
yeah.
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 bars there. You know what I'm saying? Take your bars there.
This bar, yeah.
Yeah. So what it is that if it goes below that, you sell.
Okay. Which would be
This is, yeah. And then you're not allowed to buy again till it approaches the original 5-minute high. And then you would have done a stop loss underneath that. And then you see what happened and how it bounced back.
right. Yeah.
You're concerned more about the time frames. I could care less about the time frames because I've went ahead and seen at 12 o'clock that it goes down, and I've seen it gone up. There's no rhyme or reason to that 12 o'clock. And the thing is that the fallacy that people go to lunch then, I don't think is true, because when I was on the stock exchange, that the thing is that it used to be that way, but they're so short-handed now and nobody works there that a lot of times they stagger the lunches so that there's always someone manning the floor.
So then why do you think that we chop around here from 11?
Well, you just went up. You just went ahead and went up 1,600 points in 2 days. You just had a sell-off. I mean, the fact of the matter is actually pretty much shocking that it actually came back after the sell-off. 1,600 points in 2 days. That's a record. It's never done that before. Usually after the high holidays, it takes a week to go ahead and get it back. It took a whole week to drop 1,600 points. The fact is that we went ahead and made it all back in 2 days. Shows you how strong the market is and what a bullish uptrend we're in. So huge buy-in to cause it to do that.
Yeah, and let's get to that daily to show that daily in a second. So, but just to summarize, and let me change these.
You want to go ahead and see a move, and the reason that you know is what it is I'm telling you is that what moved the most today, in my opinion, Oracle. If you look at Oracle on a 2-day chart, Goldman Sachs, Google, all the ones I told you guys to play for the Jewish high holiday sell-off were the ones that were huge today. Look at Goldman Sachs. In 2 days, I think went up $25. That's insanity. It doesn't move that much. So why don't you bring up Goldman Sachs? You'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay. But just to hold this up, because just to recap, because many people ask me, how do you play the 5-minute app? How do you know which strikes to pick?
I always play out of the money.
I do too.
I never play in the money. I always play out of the money. And my go-to rule of thumb is usually I buy 5,000 shares or 50 contracts. So in this case, Oracle, 50 contracts. And the thing is that that's usually what you want. And you want them out of the money. I usually go 2-3 outside the strike. And then you would have done phenomenal today.
Yeah.
Google, the same thing. Goldman Sachs, same thing.
Well, and so you mentioned 2 to 3 outside the strike, and that's basically because you have a price target of 50 divided by 5,000, right? Is $50 strikes, $50 per contract.
Yeah.
So, okay. First, here's where the app triggers. It triggers at 8:40 because now, if you remember,
you would have bought right there and sold at 10 o'clock.
If you look, this 8:40 is the time that this candle starts. So the app at 8:45 signals you to go long. So you go long in this candle. Now your risk is 1, you're chasing, and 2, you're before the 30-minute window where theoretically it could retrace.
Which it did. You notice it's a perfect chart right there because you see the retracement at that 9-10 o'clock, whatever you want to call it.
And that's when I got in at the close of this one. So I said, you know what? The app triggered it. I'm not going to chase this. I'm going to wait for a retrace a little bit or wait for a red candle. And then I went long.
No, you don't wait for nothing. You just buy it. So no, I'm just saying that the thing is,
you know what?
Part of this is faith. The thing is, you wait for a retracement, you're not going to make any money. So the thing is that as soon as, because most accounts are cash accounts, you can go ahead and sell.
That is
What's
true.
the big deal? This is all about making money. The thing is that you get in as soon as the app tells you to, and you got your finger to get back out. That's the whole thing. That's why I made such an issue when I was playing golf on Friday at TPC. The thing is that why I said it's unusual to be 100%, because usually you go ahead and get stopped out. Don't go ahead and be that guy that goes ahead and loses your money. The thing is that you get in, and then if the app goes ahead and goes silent, or that it comes off, meaning the app gives you a call option. You buy the call option. Then you go ahead and you stay in it unless the call option disappears. And now the thing is then you're out of the trade.
Right.
And usually it's a small loss. I don't think any time I've ever held anything that it's ever went ahead and reversed and came back around on me. It's pretty rare. The only thing that time that's ever done is on a put, and that you've seen like a huge drop in the market. But so that's that. And then the thing is that with that, I'm just showing you had two buy signals on the stock today. You had it as soon as it broke the 5 minute, you would have been out. You don't chase it. You don't get back into it. You're not going to make any money. The thing is that if it goes above the 10-minute high or the 10 o'clock high, then you get back in. If it doesn't, then the thing is that you stay out. And the thing is it's very risky to go short because usually it'll bounce off the 5-minute high,
Yeah.
which in this case it did. So you could have went ahead and bought it as it approached the 5-minute high, and then you could have went ahead and made a profit going up again.
Right. Yeah. So here's the 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock Eastern
Mm-hmm.
key time. Here's the high and the low of those two, of that candle. Or theoretically, it could have been here and here.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as like Alan said, it retraced back close down to the 5-minute high
Mm-hmm.
for coming back up. So, and like I said, what I did, and this will get into what strikes I play, I waited for the retrace. I was watching this and I said, okay, I want an option only because it's my comfortable price around $30 to $40, which was the 383 strike. So if I go look at that on the 5-minute, so I watched it go from 31 up to 40 and back down to 34. I think I got in at 34, 35. And I traded it all the way up to 70. I think I got out. Now, someone wanted me to talk about and what I did today, or for the first time, is I put in a trailing stop. And Alan's going to kind of roll his eyes and say, oh, no, don't do that, because that's not how Alan trades. But
well, no, that's not a bad idea.
So, and you can set it, and I'm just trying to think of how I can show that without going into either a paper trade or a paper account or think back. Maybe I'll do think back later. But what that allows you to do, so like I said, I bought it at 35. No, I think 34 something. And like I said, remember, it's in my comfortable zone of $30 to $40. Because if I start buying options above that price, I get nervous. So I bought it for 36, I think. Yeah, 36. And then when it reached 40, 42, I put a trailing stop. And what it does is, based on either the mark of the option or the ask, you can set like 6 cents or $6 below that strike. So it ticks up to 40, your stop is at 34. It ticks up to 50, your stop is 46. And it keeps ticking up, it keeps moving up that ladder until it drops below it. So, and like I said, so it traded up to 78. So that would have been 70 or 72. And then as soon as it dropped below that 72, it triggered a sell, but it triggered a market sell. Now, a couple things you need to worry about with stops and stop limits. One, the option that you're in needs to be active. If it basically jumps 10 to 15 points and blows past your stop and you sell it at the market, you're not guaranteed to be 6 points off of that high. It's whatever's the market selling. Now, the way around that is to put a stop limit, meaning as soon as a stop is triggered, you set a limit price of how low you want to sell it. But again, your risk is that if that option is either very liquid and moves very quickly, or if it's illiquid and it jumps around, you may not end up getting stopped out of your option because it never hit your limit. It basically just blew past it. So that's the way that I started trading, and I think I'm going to kind of continue to do that. because I hate being green and then watch the option either break even or go red. I hope that helps. Maybe I'll try to demonstrate it later. But let's get back to Oracle, first one. And let's do this on a 2-day. Oh, geez. So this probably was Friday. Yeah, look at this daily chart. And I don't know where these lines came in. That's the cool thing about
Is that today?
So this is the daily chart. This is today's, which let's look at today, because that was a huge move up. It went, so the 5-minute high was 64.14. This would have triggered the app, which at 64, let's say 64.50, and it traded a whole 1.5, so close to 2% from that trigger. But if you look, that's a serious gap up. I mean, we've basically just turned the corner. Your 10-day SMA is starting to curl up. You know what? Let's get rid of the ticks because we don't need to see those. So yeah, this was a pretty strong move today. Goldman Sachs, same thing. And look at that gap up. And the last one is Google. Google was kind of range bound, but again, a gap up. And if you notice, Oracle, Goldman Sachs, Google, what do those three things have in common? Those were three of the 5 or 6 stocks that Alan and I taught, Alan more so than I did, talked about last week in regards to the Jewish holidays and which stocks get beaten down the most and then which stocks rebound the most when buyers step back in. And I think this is a good point to turn it over to Alan. Talking about, so I saw a post today. It wasn't even in our group. I think it was in the Tasty Trade Options group that said, sell Rosh Hashanah, sell Rosh Hashanah and buy Yom Kippur. And as I'm going to let Alan talk about it, I think that's what we're seeing. We're seeing, and you're going to say, well, wait, Yom Kippur is tonight, it's the 6th. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Alan and let him talk about the Jewish holidays, if he wants to get into what Rosh Hashanah really is. It's their new year. The Jewish calendar, which is not like, I want to say the regular calendar, but it's not it's the non-Jewish calendar. Because Rosh Hashanah, these holidays occur at different times, different days every year. So Alan, give us a little Jewish information, Jewish background.
So Rosh Hashanah is the creation of the earth. It happened in 57, 5,730 years ago or thereabouts. Not exact, but I'd have to look it up to give you the exact. And so what it is, it all corresponds to the beginning of the earth. According to history, Jewish history, biblical history, this is when the beginning of earth was created. And that's very big, and that's celebrated every year in the Jewish faith. So when that starts, which we saw on that Monday, is that Jewish people in general, this is just a general statement, I'm Jewish, sell all their stocks because they cannot go ahead and manage them because there is no work to be done. They sell all their stocks 2 or 3 days before. That would generally be Tuesday or Wednesdays when you see the drop going into that, the high holiday, which is the Jewish high holidays. So what happens is that you sell those but then they're bought back after the holiday's over. Now, what happens is that as someone that's Jewish, you're allowed to trade today and you're allowed to trade yesterday. Now, what happens is that traditionally, according to what I have viewed, is that Jewish people do not buy back till after Yom Kippur unless they're missing out on the rally. So it always, what's interesting about it is it drops 1% or 1,600 points going into the high holidays, but it, generally speaking, 100% always goes back up after the high holidays, the same amount. So basically, it's neutral, meaning it goes down 1,600, goes up 1,600. In this particular case, what we saw is that during this, we saw that it occurred. I believe what happened is that the first of the month is what spooked everybody. They saw the market going up, it's supposed to go up 1% the first day of the month, went up much higher than that, like 2%. Being a very good investor, I don't think some people could sit on the sidelines, and they decided to jump in, and then they jumped in again today. I think it's all the people that sold for the high holidays and that they bought back. That's all I think you're seeing. Tomorrow should be a bad day because that's Yom Kippur, that no Jewish people are allowed to trade tomorrow. Yom Kippur does not start the holiday till the sun goes down tonight and then to the following day. So usually tomorrow is a bad day. Usually you're going to see a 3 to 4 or 500 point drop. Now, obviously, this doesn't happen all together, but the thing is, that's usually what happens. What happens is there's other people, obviously, that trade the markets that can go ahead and keep the rally going, but usually you'll see the drop. I'm more, have more puts than calls right now. I think we go down tomorrow, but we'll go ahead and see. I will not be trading all my positions. I will hold till the next trading day, which would actually be, I guess, would be on Friday, right? Today's what?
Today's Tuesday, so tomorrow's Wednesday, bad day.
Oh, yeah, so it'd be Thursday, yeah. So I will be holding all my positions to Thursday, but we'll see what happens. But I'm just explaining to you my experience, which is literally everything I've tracked for 15 years or so. Always occurred. It only did not occur one time when Donald Trump was on his first presidential year. It's the only time it never occurred. Don't ask me why.
Right,
So,
exactly. I think the CNBC guys or whatever are saying it's Powell. Because if you recall,
it's so funny how everybody's got excuses. Nobody, I would never go on CNBC and say what I tell this group,
right? Yeah,
because the thing is that everybody would go ahead and say, well, if this happens every year, I'm going to sell like they do. It's amazing. I laugh every year. It's a different excuse.
right.
This year it's inflation. Well, I've never seen in my life that the market goes up 1,600 points in 2 days. That's amazing. So that tells you right now we're in a very bullish market, but who knows? You
Yeah.
don't know. A lot of people are nervous right now. I heard it on the radio all day about this situation with Russia. We're pushing them too hard, and we're almost forcing a nuclear war. So I don't get it. I just don't get it. But that's just my opinion. But great conversation today.
Yeah,
And
if you
Brian,
guys notice, if you guys notice, Alan's in his car, probably pulled over on the side of the road.
yeah, that's one of these days that Alan is very busy with the high holidays and stuff, and I have not been able to actually get to my studio and record. So thank you for indulging me today, Brian.
Yeah,
So,
right. And it was supposed to be a quick video, and it's what, half hour, 40 minutes. We'll have to see.
yeah, I will be in Phoenix next week. I don't know if anybody's there, but I will be in Scottsdale. So, but I should be around the beginning of the week.
I was
But
gonna
yeah,
say, and we need to talk about it, but November is Daniel Gomez's Millionaire Mind.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm still tossing up, debating whether or not to go. So you and I will chat about that maybe when you got a little free.
I'm going, so I think I'm going to be one of the presenters. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah. So,
Yeah,
mhm.
I started looking at flights out of Delta, so we're thinking, yeah, definitely. So I'm
Cool.
fingers crossed I'm gonna be down there hopefully. So we'll see.
I'll be there. I'm staying. I'll tell you where I'm staying later. So,
Yeah, we'll
yeah,
chat.
right out on the river walk. So,
Cool.
mhm.
Yeah, my sister did her basic training down there, and I loved it.
Oh, good.
So yeah, I'm sort of familiar with the river walk and stuff like that. So, well, I
It's
will let you
cool.
go. We'll chat
All right.
eventually about that. Um,
Yeah.
you guys have a good rest of the week. If you have questions in regards to think or swim, question in regards to positioning, that sort of thing. I spent a lot longer than I thought I would. I spent 45, 50 minutes making a video about credit spreads. Um, so I have a little bit of knowledge on a lot of things. How about that? Um, so if you guys questions on anything, reach out and we'll go from there. Because I enjoy doing them. I enjoy sharing what I know about Thinkorswim. Can't say I'm not the greatest trader yet. I still have to get my emotions in check. Um, but you guys have a good rest of the week, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, everyone.
All right. We'll
Thanks,
talk to you.
Alan.